So I went to College of Insurance to study insurance first and understand. Then started practicing with experience and accolades. I got the title of Accredited Financial Adviser. Now I'm able to talk about money broadly.
What common mistakes do entrepreneurs do when it comes to finances?
I think it's plowing back everything. You can't ignore the fact that this is the youngest you ever be. Yeah. So while allocating something for yourself, allocate for something for what makes you happy as well. Lakini lazima to include sacrifices. Kama biashara ndio unaanzia, huwezi anza kuallocate sherehe. Money has got one language. Save me today, I'll save you tomorrow. My name is Margaret. I'm a financial advisor with ICEA Lion Group. But I get to talk about money generally. It has money market fund, the most popular one. Mm-hmm. It has bond fund, equity fund, growth fund, and dollar fund. Money conversation is solution based, depending on what the client is looking for. While you are having an active income from your business, you can also have your money working for you without lifting your finger.
Hello everyone, how are you doing? Well, today we are super happy because we are getting to have a kind of a different conversation from the one that you're used to us having. Of course, you're used to us talking to entrepreneurs, having conversations with them, diving into their story just to know more about themselves and their business. But today we have a beautiful lady with us, as you can see, and the topic that we are just about to have is one of those that every entrepreneur needs to have knowledge on, whether they like it or not. It's about money. And whether you are a startup in your business or you're just leveling and scaling up, how you manage your finances will either break your success or make it. Margaret with us, and we are super excited to have this conversation. This is Adventures in Business on Influencer TV Kenya, and my name is Joan Mwaneki. And before we go on, this beautiful episode has been sponsored by Prime House Interiors Limited, and of course, at the end of this conversation, I'll be telling you more about them. So stay tuned. Right now, we give our beautiful lady a chance to give her introduction. Magi, karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for coming to have this conversation with us today.
Okay.
We are super excited.
Thank you.
Yes, so please talk to them.
Hi, my name is Margaret. I'm a financial advisor with ICEA Lion Group, but I get to talk about money generally. Money conversation is solution based, depending on what the client is looking for. So if I sit down with you, get to hear what you want, requires you to have a circle, requires you to have something that is not in ICEA Lion Group, I definitely get to recommend that, as long as you have your money safe and you have it growing. In other words, have a passive income while you are having an active income from your business. You can also have your money working for you without lifting your finger. Yes.
Maybe we just start with your background check, where you grew up, just kidogo, like before we get to the financial literacy and financial advising.
Okay.
Acha tuone kwanza background yako vile ilikuwa.
Well, I grew up in Karatina, Nyeri. Of course, studied there like other children, and then came to Nairobi for Kiambu, NIBS. Joan should actually tell you she was my course mate. I did journalism. I have a background of journalism and mass communication. Practiced a little bit. Then started business in town, a cloth line. While at it is when somebody mentioned ICEA Lion. I had never heard about insurance before because I was quite young. Maybe I have, by the time nilikuwa nimesikia, but then again, not in the way I know it right now. So somebody I was hosting at the shop mentioned where she works. Other than now, the shop was a side hustle for her, and I was looking for a side hustle for myself because my shop business was doing well. That is how I was introduced to ICEA Lion Group. So I went to College of Insurance to study insurance first and understand. Then started practicing. All of us start as insurance agents. It is along the way that you actually get your path and realize, like myself, I realized I don't want to talk about insurance only. Money matters are very broad, so that is how I ended up with, of course, with experience and accolades. I got the title of Accredited Financial Adviser. Now I'm able to talk about money broadly. You may summarize your growing up because it's the same for everyone.
Yes, yes. And let me just ask, growing up ulikuwa unataka kukua nini? Because you see what you're doing right now. And back in college you did journalism and mass communication.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, actually in the office we tell each other, nobody grew up saying they would want to be a financial advisor. We probably did not even know such things exist, or we want to work in an insurance company. Maybe the only people who know that exists is our children. All right. So I grew up wanting to be an actress so much, or being on TV. Of course, before nijue mambo ya kukua actress and everything, kila mtu alikuwa anataka kukua pilot. Ndio mimi hapa na ndege. So I wanted to, I really
una fly colors.
No, the fly colors. Na pesa ya watu.
I know.
So I grew up wanting to be an actress or anything to do with TV. But before that, after high school, actually nilikaa home wiki mbili peke yake, nikajoin traveling theater. Zenye zinafanyanga set books.
Yeah.
Because that one was in line with what I really wanted.
What kind of challenges you've gone through in your job? And how did you overcome them as well?
As work in my job?
Yes.
I think ni over-trust clients. Somebody can tell you will schedule a meeting with a person, so you will definitely block other people.
Yes.
Like if I agree we are meeting on Friday this time, whether it is a virtual or a physical meeting, most people respect other people's time, but they are all, of course, there's a number of people who not respect your time. Like recently, I was telling a client, you owe me an apology. We agreed on a meeting date. I came to your place of work. Nikikwambia nimefika, kuna hao tuna meet kwa job yao canteen because of the privacy. Ndio ananiambia, oh my God, today we have a training. I will not be able to. Let's reschedule. But you'd have told me earlier and not have come all the way. So I think that's the major challenge. But it's a good job, I can say, because you get to talk to different kind of people, different levels, and you learn a lot from everyone. The CEOs and even the person down there, you get to get a lesson from everyone. And I think this is not a challenge. This is the positive side of it. I get to interact with people who are older than me, so I can avoid mistakes they made because I get to also learn from them.
What time should an entrepreneur, whether there are people that are growing like really quick and big or startups, when should they think of visiting a financial advisor?
At the onset. Whenever you start generating income or even thinking about starting a business, you need to walk the journey with a financial advisor. Because most people think once I'm in business, I am supposed to plow back everything.
Okay.
For example, you're in a business of supply or something. They think nikiweka hii pesa nikirudisha kwa biashara, it will grow my business, which is actually true. But what about you? Do you even pay yourself? Do you have a salary for you, or you only have salaries for your juniors, people working for you? So I think entrepreneurs need to think about working with a financial advisor at the onset. With time, they don't need to continue working with them because things will align. They know what percentage to plow back. They will know what percentage to pay themselves. and what percentage to allocate to the business.
How should they be able to know how to handle between personal finances and business finances?
Of course, allocating an amount, deciding my salary is this percentage from the interest that I make. I think I'm used to talking to people who are on salary, but I think the concept is the same. 50% can go back to business in terms of expenses. If they are paying rent, if they have people they need to pay, then you can choose 20% for you as salary. The other 30% can be, unajua pia mtu ako na expenses na you can't ignore the fact that this is the youngest you ever be. So while allocating something for yourself, allocate for something for what makes you happy as well. So I think 20% would work depending on the size of business. Lakini lazima to include sacrifices. Kama biashara ndio unaanzia, huwezi anza kuallocate sherehe. Kama ndio unaanzia biz, I think it would be wise to allow the business grow, but also because my spouse is in business and I see him making those mistakes. Sometimes I call him out, sometimes I allow him, because I ask him, wewe kwa biashara unatoanga tu the time you need to pay rent, the time you need to pay school fees, utachomoa, but do you pay yourself? People you are working with have a salary, people you've employed have a salary, but do you have a salary? Ama salary yako ni rent, shopping, na school fees. Do you have some? Until you feel, hey, nako kashati si kazuri, is when you will decide, I actually need a new one. But it is not even in your budget to, this money is mine, I will put it in my money market. By the way, by the time he opened a money market, nile kumuimbia kama wimbo every day. So most business people are like that. They are so invested in their business, they forget about themselves. So if you ask me, I'd say allocate something small. Business will still flow, or something that will not stop business from flowing. Usieke kila kitu pia, biashara isimame juu capital umeset aside. By the way, when I talk about these percentages, I'm talking from what you made from the interest, not your capital.
Okay.
Yes.
What common mistakes do entrepreneurs do when it comes to finances?
I think it's plowing back everything. Unapata, you see, for example, in this office or in this setup of business, munajuana, and maybe mukona, what can I call it? Something like an welfare. Most business people, or even you're pensionable or something, most business people don't pay themselves. They think their business will be able to generate everything that they want. So they end up not having something like a pension for themselves. So by the time to wako 50, they are not as energetic as they used to be when they were 30. So napata, you use all your life paying bills. You don't have a pension for yourself. You don't even have a medical cover for yourself. So I think most business people, the most common mistake they make is failing to pay themselves and failing to invest in these institutions that other guys are doing. Well, I've started with business people when you wanasema, you know, for a salaried person, anaweza sema nitasave 10k na atakatwa kwa mshahara. But if you look at a salaried person, unaweza pata that person who is salaried analipwa pesa kidogo kulingana ukicompare na how much this other business person is making. But they feel that it is a bit hard because the money is coming in on a daily basis. So they feel ni kama wanalalisha pesa to start with. I don't want to correct them in this way. You cannot compare, for example, let me use money market. You can't compare money market that is giving you 9.5% or 10% per annum with your business. Because biashara yako, you need to be there, you need to wake up every morning, think about it, what is going to generate more income, maybe have employees, sort advice, so that you're able to generate that income. But when you put the same amount, for example, let's talk about 100k, but when you put the same 100k in a money market, it is your money working for you purely without you lifting your finger. So you do not expect these returns to be the same. Of course, from your end, the return is higher. This other one is a passive income. So it is good. I highly suggest it is good to put aside something small. So as you're working, let your money also work for you. With time, hakuna kitu yenye ni mzuri ni ya haraka. Give your money time. Yes. Izaane.
Okay. For entrepreneurs, what is the best way to manage the cash flow?
There are 3 platforms I suggest are the most basic platforms that somebody needs to join for investment. Number one for them is to know how much their business can be able to invest aside, to save kando without struggle. If you realize I can actually do 30,000 every month, you need an emergency fund. So there are 3 platforms. There's short term, there's medium term, and there's long term. Short term is where you put your money for a short term goal. 1 to 3 years is not a really long time. It is also the best platform for emergency. Like if anything, it's good to have a backup plan. If business is not working well for the next 6 months, how are you going to pay your rent, your school fees, your everything? So the emergency plan will come in handy. Where do we put this money? In the money market. Because in case you don't need it, the money will still generate an income. They need circles. Hakuna biashara. Okay, unaweza grow bila loan actually, but you can grow yourself faster through loans. And there are good loans and there are bad loans. Bad loans are those loans that you borrow to spend. It is also not very wise to borrow to start a business, because what if it doesn't pick? How are you going to pay back the money? Now maybe somebody guaranteed you the money, but boosting business that has been working well, it's fine. So they need a circle. Maybe one time we'll talk about circles, because it is very good to be very cautious with the circles. And number 3, they need long-term plans. Okay. Even if they will not do investment plans with insurance companies, they need a pension. We need to come to agree with yourself, or agree to the fact that we are growing. We are not young anymore. Yeah. We will not remain young anymore. You will not be this energetic anymore. What if you hit 60 and you're no longer with an income, and God blesses you to 90? Those are 30 years. The only thing that will stop for those entrepreneurs ni maybe watakuwa na rent wanalipa na watakuwa na school fees. Everything else will remain the same. There's inflation for food, and their immune systems will not remain the same. Utakuwa na bills vingi za hosi, So because of that reason, I think they need a money market where they can access the money in case of any need. So money market is nice for flexibility and liquidity. They need a circle where they can borrow in case of need, and they also need a pension. For the pension, the earlier you start, the better. Yeah.
Well, amazing. Up to hapo, tuko sawa sana, and it's such a beautiful conversation. I love how it's going. But for now, just allow us to take a short break. We are coming back soon. Thank you. It's your girl, Joanne Mwaneki, and this is Prime House Interiors Limited. And today we are at Panari, Mombasa Road. We want to show you one of the spaces that we designed. But trust me, Prime House is always the best. So welcome to Riro Porini.
I was looking for someone who could be able to design this small space for us, because it's a lean office, and I wanted something majestic, something beautiful, something simple. I love simplicity by all means. Many people get these things from referrals, but I got Prime House Interiors from the internet. One of the key positives was the speed of response, and then of course we started the journey from that point on. This work was done in 2023, but every time I have called the director for Prime House Interior, he has come here and rectified certain areas, and it is actually absolutely free of charge. Majority of people will give you timelines and they will tell you after 6 months, I think everything else that you call us in for will be payable. I think many of the clients that have walked into this office, I will tell you, one of the compliments they've always given is regarding this space and the good design that is in the office. If people externally can see it, then you can imagine what I'm thinking personally. The job was well done. I stick to the supplier that has made things work for me, and I would highly, definitely recommend Prime House Interiors. My name is Riro Eno. I'm the director of Riro Porini Tours and Safari. We are offering safaris to people who love to travel.
If you are complaining about your interior or exterior design, where are you looking? Because you're definitely not looking at Prime House. You heard from the director of Riro Porini, and there is not much we can say anymore. Just trust us. See you next time.
I said the truth and nothing the truth, so help me God.
Thank you so much for waiting on us. We are back to finish up on this beautiful conversation. So let's do it and see how it actually goes, but I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Karibu sana, Margaret.
Thank you.
Umeenjoy break yako?
Kabisa.
So you're good?
Yeah.
Like we can go on?
Yeah.
Okay, now tell us, how does money market work?
All right. So money market, to go back a little bit, it's under an umbrella called Unit Trust. Unit Trust has got 5 products. It has money market fund, the most popular one. It has bond fund, equity fund, growth fund, and dollar fund. A client chooses what they want to work with depending with their risk appetite. Some people have got high risk appetite and they are willing to invest in an area that will give them very high return, but they also have come to the terms with the fact that they can lose part of their capital. Guys investing in Forex, they have high risk appetite. That's a good example. But money market are for people who are a little bit conservative. Like myself, I'm not willing to lose 100 shilling. I know Forex can make me good money. It is a good platform. I agree. My sister does it. But I'm not willing to go that route. You're telling me I can put my 20K here and remain with 5,000.
And I can lose it.
And I can lose it. I'm not willing to do that. So I'm willing to get an interest of even 100 shilling as long as my money is safe. So money market is one of the areas that such a person can invest in. It is a platform that allows you to invest your money and also access it. But for the investment bit to take effect well, you must allow your money to grow. You can't deposit today and you want to withdraw in a month's time and still make good return. So why a money market would give lower interest than an equity fund? It's because this one we are guaranteeing on the capital. So the interest can fluctuate. For example, right now, ICEA is at 9 point. Most money markets are between 7% to 12%, depending with where they have invested their money. But most companies invest their money market money, or the money that has come through money market, in T-bills. T-bills is when we loan the government for short period of time, like 92 days, 182 days, 365 days, kitu kama hiyo. Or infrastructure bonds. These are a little bit longer, like 6 years, 10, even 18. So you see, we already know that we will have this money back. So depending on what interest they have given us is what will determine what we'll declare to our clients. This is just 2 platforms, but that is just to show where this money is invested. So money market is a platform for a now business person. Is a platform you can put your money and have it grow or slowly depending with the interest rate. We are at 9.4 currently. Last year, September, we are at 13.6. So there has been a drop because of the T-bills. They're not doing really well right now. But you see, mtu anaweza weka pesa yake na isahau. I was telling your director behind the camera there, if I was seated with a client who has 50 million and is at the age of 50, or actually nearing retirement, and I get to find out that that person wants to invest that money in a property, an apartment, I'd stop them. I'd stop them kwa sababu hiyo number 150 million inaweza ishia kwa hiyo apartment, but it is okay kwa sababu sisemi ni vibaya entirely, because you will still get tenants or are hoping to get tenant to be able to get a livelihood on your retirement or a source of income. A retirement liquidity is the biggest problem I have seen, liquidity. But if you have 50M na hautaki stress za kudeal na tenants, nini, you can put it on money market. Let's say you have an average of even 1% from the 50 million. That's about how much? 500,000 every month. So it's the same rent you're targeting. As long as you don't have the intention of withdrawing that money, you can still have that passive income coming on a monthly basis and still retain your capital in case of change of mind of wanting to still go back to real estate. And I'm not saying real estate is a bad platform. It is just examples of weighing options in terms of the level of stress.
So what advice can you give to our entrepreneurs here watching us?
Number one, if you're in business, you don't have an option when it comes to having a money market or an emergency fund. You need one. Why I recommend money market is because in case you don't need the money, it will still grow you interest. So get an emergency fund. How much is enough in your emergency fund? At least 6 times your monthly expenses, such that if business goes down, for example, during COVID, you can sustain your lifestyle for 6 months without borrowing. Another advice or a saying, money has got one language. Save me today, I'll save you tomorrow. Wow. All right? Yes, hakuna a shortcut. So I'd advise them to have a backup plan through money market. Yes, as a starters actually, it's a bigger net. Yes. It's easy to get me through my number, business only, 0792 877 192. On my socials, I am Margaret on Facebook, what else? Instagram, LinkedIn, but on TikTok I'm Margaret, your FA. I forgot to mention, most businesses need money market because, for example, if you're like your sponsors, what money they have made and may not need to spend it, they can have that money on money market. Before maybe we need this money in the next 3 months, these 3 months inaweza generate interest and you can still now withdraw it when you need it. So you can have a money market as an individual, as a company, as a joint account, whichever. But I am very flexible within Nairobi for physical meeting, but also very much available for virtual meeting.
We've come to the end of this conversation and it's been such a beautiful one. And I told you in the beginning, this is exactly what everybody else out here needs to hear, or rather needed to hear. Be it a startup business, katikati, ama you're just hapo juu umeshafika, haujafika bado when you have less or little knowledge about money. And that is why we have Margaret. So if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do not forget to do so. It goes by the name Influencer TV Kenya. And the segment is Adventures in Business. Also, you can follow us in all of our social media platforms. That is Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. We use the same name, which is Influencer TV Kenya. And if you come across this episode, Do not be selfish. Your friends, your enemies, your frenemies, your family members, they need to have a knowledge about money. So please just forward to them. And finally, this beautiful episode has been sponsored by Prime House Interiors Limited, a company that does interior and exterior design. And I promise you, you won't find a company that is doing a better job than Prime House Interiors. So trust us and find us on our socials at Prime House Interiors. And their website is primehouseinteriors.co.ke. Believe me or believe me, you do not have another option. So goodbye. See you next time with so much love.